Hello, I am back from the USA, so I've got some of my England friends with me, and we're going to play a game about deception and friendship. Basically, we're each going to come up with two stories, one will be true, one will be fake, and the other two have to ask them some questions and figure out which is which. Okay, so my first story is that I once told a lie to get out of school, and it got so out of hand that I was driven 2 hours to a specialist hospital, and they began scheduling surgery for me. The second story is that I once stalked a boy on holiday for over 2 hours and followed him to his house.
First question I want to ask you is about the first story.
Okay.
What was the lie?
Okay, so I didn't want to do rugby in PE, so I pretended I had a bad knee, and I just kept pushing it and pushing it and pushing it every week, because rugby went on for 6 weeks, to the point where I called my dad and told him I couldn't walk one morning. And so I was taken to the hospital. They couldn't find anything when they x-rayed me, so they sent me up to Bristol because I was adamant that I just couldn't walk on this leg.
What did you have to do to pretend that you couldn't walk on that leg?
So I refused to get out of bed until my dad came home from work. He had to help me, like one arm over the shoulder, carry me down the stairs like to his car, drove me to the hospital, laid there, had like x-ray after x-ray, and I was just adamant that it hurt too much and I couldn't move. So yeah, they were like, well, we're gonna have to send you to Bristol because they have better equipment than us.
Okay, about your second story then.
My second story.
Why did you stalk the boy?
Well, I was on holiday with my family. My sister had a crush on him, so I went with her to follow him around. Followed him to his house.
Where were you?
It was in Burnham-on-Sea, I believe, but I don't know definitely.
I thought it was going to be like Egypt or something. Followed an Egyptian boy around.
Yeah, we stole a camel and just followed him across Cairo.
Burnham-on-Sea, that was hesitation.
Yeah, that was.
You didn't know where
no, that was a lot of hesitation to us.
And you are probably awful at rugby.
I'm so terrible at rugby.
So I feel that one might be true.
Yeah, I reckon the first one is true.
Incorrect.
Ah! What? Mine might not be as good, but we'll see.
Well, obviously, you're not as good of a storyteller as I am.
Okay, so my first story is me and my older sister ran away from home, and we ended up with my older sister in hospital and me being locked out the house for an hour. My second story is when I was 6, it was my birthday. I was trying to find my presents, and I ended up covering my room in dog poo. Okay,
the second one, I just want to know how it escalated so much from looking for presents to there being dog poo everywhere.
When you say everywhere, like...
it was all in my bed.
In your bed,
Yeah.
not just on the carpet?
No.
On the walls?
Not, okay.
Okay, so how?
Yeah.
So when I was 6, I decided I wanted to try and find my birthday presents. It was my birthday, obviously. So I had a look around the house, and I couldn't find them anywhere in the house. But I did know we had a greenhouse, like a garden house. So I climbed out the first story window. And then I wandered to our garden shed, and I slipped over on dog poo on the way. And I slid downhill, and I went all up my back.
So the only thing you could do was go lay in bed.
So
I
was 6 years old, and I didn't want to get caught. So I climbed back in my window and got back into bed and pretended to be asleep.
And you didn't think when they opened the door the next morning and just smelled dog crap everywhere, they'd maybe know?
I could just open the door to so many different worrying issues with you. First story.
First story.
How did your sister end up at hospital and you were just locked out? Like, how did she get there?
Me and my sister, basically, we asked my mum for McDonald's for tea, and she said no. So we decided to rebel and run away. Our whole garden was a rock garden. We had massive boulders. And we ran out into our back garden, and we were going to go into the field next to us. And on the way out, my sister tripped over one of the boulders and bit through her lip.
Ooh.
So she knocked on the door, and my mum let her back in. And shut the door behind me. I knocked and knocked and knocked, but my mum was dealing with my sister.
I'm now worried about the abuse you suffered.
Both of these are like stories about neglect.
Yeah.
They are both so in-depth stories, and one of them is fake. So I'm just curious about Ollie's imagination.
Yeah.
How the hell have you come up with one of these?
The believable thing with the first one is the cracked lip. Like, that is believable, falling over. He's not gone too extreme on the injury. But with the being locked out and your mum just forgetting about you, if it's true, I am sorry.
I feel like the second one was, the one where he looked for his birthday presents was too specific.
Yeah, I think that one was...
I think that's the false one.
I think that's false.
Yeah, should we go for that one?
Yeah, we're going there.
You guys are so right, yeah.
Yes!
Right, first story. I was staying at a friend's house, and we're just sat watching TV with his parents, and this Tampax advert came up. So I'd heard it from my brother, didn't really know what it meant. I was like 11 years old, and I just said, "Oh, it's a man's man's worst enemy." But obviously now I understand that's really offensive to women. Didn't at the time. His mum got up, out of her seat, walked across the room, slapped me, grabbed me by the scruff of my neck, and threw me into his room. Told me to stay there. The worst sleepover ever. The second story is about my first kiss. I was in a bush, and it was the typical 1, 2, 3, go, you know? But it wasn't the peck.
No, I don't know.
You never did that? No. But you go 1, 2, 3, and then you kiss.
Okay.
Yeah? But this was, we'd stepped up a gear. We were going for a real kiss. Probably about 3 seconds into the kiss, I could taste snot.
Oh.
And I said, I pushed her, she tripped over, and she hit her head on a log. I ran home.
If anyone has seen a missing girl in a bush, Lara is still missing.
Here are my qualms. Okay.
Right.
The second one, pushing them off, I get it, but banging their head, that is a really bad kiss.
So what happened to the girl?
Rest in peace. I don't know. Like, she was fine. She was in school the next day, but literally I just ran home.
So in the first one,
yeah,
I don't think, as far as my sleepovers go, that my friends' mums would hit me. No matter what I did, they'd shout at me. But I expect you associated with some riffraff in your time. So I wouldn't put it past that happening to you.
What's that supposed to mean?
So the lower classes,
Yeah. Are you still friends with him now?
No, I kind of
pushed him in a bush afterwards.
I took his girlfriend off him.
That kind of information makes me think that I didn't think the first one was true.
No.
When he, like, that kind of information.
I'm gonna say number 1 is true and number 2 is fake.
You think sleepover was true?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go the other way. I think 2 is true and 1's fake.
Story 2 is true.
Oh,
the kiss
so
story.
The kiss story is
yes.
completely true.
Turns out you don't associate with such riffraff then.
No.
No, but
yeah.
good
Poor
man.
judgment.
So that was fun. I think we've learned that I am a great liar. Ollie sucks at everything.
And has a worrying past.
It's a very worrying past of negligence. And Tom is just a bad kisser. Just a bad kisser. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Our Twitters and Instagrams will all be in the description box down below. And see you again soon. Farewell.
Bye.
Cheerio.